Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Leached On, a podcast where I'm leached on to a certain topic for 15 minutes or more. We're back on my grind. I'm back on my shit. I look a little pale, or at least my mom said I look a little pale, so, I might be sick. I don't know. Hey. My cats might be making a special cameo in this video, so if you hear them, I sincerely apologize. But since I'm feeling back and better, and but motivational, we're gonna get started today. I'm gonna give a personal shout out to two people who got me back onto being here. So I guess if you guys like seeing me, you can thank them. But shout out to Caroline and Lizzie. I guess it's like more like a if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Only real OGs know. But they really, we were talking and they're like, man, like, low-key, I need to make a podcast about this. Like, they said that. I was like, low-key, I need to make a podcast about this. So, today I'm going to cover 4 topics and give some advice on them because I've spent too much time mourning instead of giving. And that's why I started Leached On. So, let's get started. Today, his main focus is going to be love bombing. So, matter of fact, so I don't tell you guys wrong, let's search up what even is love bombing, because I feel like there's a media version and then there's a technical version. Love bombing, Google definition, is a form of emotional manipulation that involves giving someone excessive attention, compliments, or affection to control them. So, let's say like some signs, so excessive compliments, lavish gifts, wanting to spend all your time together, and pushing for commitment. So, let's say you meet this guy or girl, I'm not judging, you meet somebody, and you guys kick it off, but y'all kick it off at a rather fast rate. People say, oh, the 3-month rule, oh, the 1-month rule, oh, That's just, in reality, let's keep it a buck, those are just people's self-standards that they have that, oh, I'm going to get to know somebody in 3 months for either 3 reasons. 1, so they don't look bad and they don't look like, they move too quickly out of relationships or they move on too fast. That's one reason why people have these rules. So they're like, okay, hey, I get into relationships like every 6 months because 3 months is getting to know them and then the 3 months is dating them. So really, I just move on fast. Example 1. Example 2, people want to have a self-standard that they get to know people. So like, oh, you know what? Like, I can get to know you in 3 months as opposed to a week and still kind of get the same vibe. And sometimes for some people that makes them feel better. Like, oh, I know you longer. Like, some people I know have been together for years and they only knew each other in 2 weeks before they dated. Because some people believe, oh, well, when you date somebody, you get to know them. While some people are the opposite. They're like, no, you get to know them before you date them to determine if you want to get with them. But at the end of the day, there's no third reason. I don't know why I said 3. There's only 2. At the end of the day, it's you and this person's bond. How quickly y'all click, how quickly y'all get together, how quickly y'all's lives co-align. So really, there doesn't need to be rules or time limits placed on it. I mean, I've been in relationships where I've kicked it. It was, I guess, more of a slow burn, and I got to know them for a year before I got with them. And then there's some that I got to know them within like 4 or 5 months, and nonetheless, I still left the relationship with learning. But that's what love bombing is. And so let's say you get with somebody and y'all are kicking it, but like they just like want to be with you and get you all these gifts and go the extra mile and see you all the time and get to know your family and your friends and just like bleed into a relationship so quickly. And if you're not used to this type of affection, you're not going to notice it off the bat. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm happy. This is everything I've ever wanted in a man or a girl or in a relationship and a partner. So for you, it's something exciting. It's not something worth questioning or putting your walls around. And you should never do that when it comes to love anyways, because you deserve it. If you're getting love at your doorstep, you're doing something right. So let's say, they get you flowers, they're out buying you energy drinks, y'all are hanging out, y'all are taking photos together, you're posting them, but they're not posting you. But yet, yeah, it's okay, because like they're doing all these actions, so it's like, whatever, I don't need to post anyways, I'm still getting all these lavish gifts and excessive compliments, and then next thing you know, y'all are together within 2 weeks. Okay, that's fine, we're steady, we're cruising. And then they call it quits for you out of nowhere. Not even a valid explanation, just genuinely out of nowhere. That's where the question comes, where are you loved bombed? Where are you loved bombed? Dun dun dun. And that's where I would tell you, yeah, you were love bombed. But like, again, nowadays, like, love bombing is such a more like recent buzz term. People don't like to say they got love bombed. And love bombing isn't embarrassing on your behalf or means that there's a problem with you. Genuinely, it's a problem with the other person. If you are known to be a love bomber, or if you're listening to this, you're like, and I listed all the symptoms of love bombing, you might be like, am I a love bomber? Fix it within yourself. Because why do you have to boom at somebody else just to reel it back in and realize it's not even what you want or you're ready for? That's not fair to the other person. And yeah, life ain't fair, whatever. You can't go off of fairness or whatnot. But is it really valid for you to put somebody else through like questioning their worth or wondering what they did wrong just because you wanted to boom them with love and then just pull it back? You know what I'm saying? It's not exactly fair. You wouldn't want that done to you. Don't go do it to somebody else. I don't understand why a lot of people don't live through that mentality. Like, truly, like, if you don't want somebody else to go through something, why, like, if you don't want to go through something, why would you put somebody else through it? And, like, sometimes we do it accidentally. Like, for a great example, at work, I didn't restock a lot of things. And then they felt it that next morning. And then the people prior to me didn't restock a bunch of things. And I felt it the next morning. So then I realized, holy fuck, I don't want to go through this. Let me go restock for them. Because even if, they don't even notice that I did restock or didn't, I'm still going to feel good and sleep good at night knowing, hey, I restocked the mocha at Starbucks. Y'all can thank me for that one. So sometimes it's the small things, But at the end of the day, I feel like that's a great mentality to live through. Like, if there's 3 mentalities I would suggest everybody to live through, it's treat others how you want to be treated, actions over words, and move with love. And you may be like, Priscilla, those are all, like, common sense. Believe it or not, some people don't have those ideals. And I feel like those are ideals that you achieve once you reach certain experiences and have gone through certain things in life to be able to say, yeah, these are my 3 values. And those are my 3 values that I live through very profusely. Like, I hold on to dear life. And there have been times where I've kind of let those go. I'm like, I'm going to listen to their words for a little bit. And then I basically almost kind of got like digitally love bombed. And I'm like, this is why I go back to actions over words. And then, like, the truth is how you want to be treated. I just listed an example in the workplace. Again, sometimes things don't have to just apply to relationships, So I think the effects that love bombing can have on somebody is have them question their worth. Like, hey, I'm worth it to get all these good things, but I'm also easy for you to let go. I'm all of a sudden you're not ready for it. What did I do wrong? What does this mean for me? And it can even get into doubts of, it can cause parts of like self-doubt. And that's where it's like saying that it's not fair to you. Because it's not fair to you for somebody else to just like, boom, throw all this at you and then just pull it back because last minute they decide they're not ready. You're not worth that. You're not worth somebody's questioning. You're not worth somebody toying with you to figure out what they want to do in life or figure out where they want to be. That's why I say, again, if you move with love and you move with genuine intentions, what is there to regret? You never have to regret. I get upset over my relationships, but at the end of the day, I never really regret them. Because I know I loved my hardest. I know my actions were genuine. I know in some way, shape, or form, I was still a version of myself. And I want to leave them with a good note, with a lesson, with something that they can live for the rest of their life. I mean, no weird stuff, but one of the people in my past life, they taught me that when you shave your knees, your knee is like a rotational axis. So you can shave it in any way. So I shave my knees in any way and don't get razor burn. But I also oil my knees and my legs after a shave, so I also don't get razor burn because of that. But sometimes when I don't, I do. But anyways, so sometimes you just leave, people will leave pieces of them with you. So when somebody love bombs you, what piece of them did they leave with you? You know what I'm saying? Was it all a facade? Was it all fake? Was it all just a game? And those effects are definitely really tough to linger with because then it has you questioning your self-worth. And I think with something like love bombing, it's definitely something that happens in the start of a relationship. Like, if you have it at the start of a relationship, the relationship is doomed to fail. Hey, sorry. And so, another great tip that I would have I don't think anybody can really see love bombing, because some people just do love very hard. I mean, I know I've seen it in like my friends and stuff like that, and I know that they're genuine. And then some people just call it quits with them because they're like, "Oh, this is too much for me." If you like, if somebody feels as if you're too much, that's just a them thing. You can always be the highest version of you, and if that's not like if you're up here and somebody else is down here, they're gonna say it's too much because look at that gap. You're here, they're here. Look at that gap. It is a lot, but that doesn't mean it's a lot for you. Because look, the gap is downwards. For them, the gap is upwards. So for you, it's not a lot. But for them, it's a lot. So that doesn't mean that it's a thing with you. It's most likely a thing with them. And, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you can move with your rawness. You were genuine. What is there to regret? And it sucks. Like, there's so many. I could genuinely talk about breakups for like an hour because breakups suck. They suck. But at the end of the day, you got to remember to really back into trusting and being secure in you. Because if you're not secure in you, the breakup, not only did you lose somebody else, but you also lost yourself. And I don't care what you say. It's like one of those other things, like I do believe in value and believe in my belief system. When you lose you, that is the hardest loss. Whether you lose you in a job, whether you lose you in academics, whether you lose you in friends, in relationships, in family, grieving, death, anything. If you lose yourself, it gets really hard to pick that back up. And is it easy? No, it is definitely not easy. But once you can kind of get that rebuilding of yourself and that trust and security within yourself, it's like almost everything you want finds you. Everything you deserve finds you. It's just like you feel good, you give out good, you radiate good. And, you know, people call that law of attraction, manifestation, whatever it may be. It's just like an automatic pull that happens. Some people thank God for it. Some people thank the universe. Some people thank themselves. But at the end of the day, it's like it works out in your favor. It works out in your favor. And the best way to go about it, especially like if you got love bombed and it was a short-term relationship, you can still, I think an easy way to navigate a lot of things is looking at it with gratitude and changing your perspective than looking at it as a bummy thing. Like, yes, it sucked, but it's like, hey, I was still worth it for somebody to get flowers. Just imagine what the right person will do. They won't only just buy you flowers, but they might buy you flowers and chocolate. They might buy you flowers and a basket. You know, like you're going to get a lot more. If you can get here, you can definitely get here. So being able to kind of change the perspective, like, oh, I was worth it for somebody to get flowers. Oh, I was worth it to be booed up. Like, you are worth it. It's just for them, they've got their own troubles and stuff going on. Again, they're here, and you're here. Look at that gap. But it's not a gap for you. It's a gap for them. It's a gap up. So, at the end of the day, if you can reel that back into yourself and be like, yeah, you know, I was worth that, and I'm worth more, the more will find you. Once you can believe in yourself and really hold that power and that nature to be true, like, yeah, you know what, I'm worth it. And everybody's got flaws. Okay, like a part of that self-doubt, you might be like, oh, like maybe I did something wrong, maybe there's something wrong with me, maybe I was too much, whatever. At the end of the day, you have flaws that define you, and there are some flaws you can work on, but at the end of the day, flaws are flaws because that's something that isn't the best qualities to your character. But at the end of the day, it's like still what makes your character. A character cannot be 100% good without some lore or like a downhill. Like when you learn the plot diagrams in school, they teach you like there's the climax, there's the peak, then there's like the resolution, and then when you read bigger novels, there's usually another peak after the first initial downfall. So everybody has their own like downfalls and uprisings. So if somebody cannot appreciate your downfalls and the things that maybe you led yourself to a downfall, or other people have led you to a downfall, or whatever makes your downfall, if they cannot appreciate that and see that as a part of you, and they're like, I don't see that, I only see your goods, then they just built an image of you that isn't realistic. And at the end of the day, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve somebody who can't stay for your hard moments. If that's too much for somebody, it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. And when you can realize that and truly just believe yourself and reinvest that love into yourself, everything you want will come your way. Everything you deserve will find its way to you. You just got to be on the right path. You got to get that path flowing and engraved and stepping on it and let it shown that it's worn and that you're ready to take on anything that comes in it so all the good can find its way into your path. And love bombing It sucks because it says it's a form of manipulation. It's one of those things that messes with your brain, messes with how you see things. And I don't want, I would hate for somebody to have love bombed you and you just put your guard up and put your walls up. And anytime somebody wants to show you a form of love, you just can't take it because something bad happened the first time. No. Love is one of the strongest emotions. Why do you want it to be something that shuts you out? Don't let it be something that shuts you out. Let it be something that you can embrace and take with you because you deserve it. Whether it works out or not, it's like love is a gamble. But at the end of the day, again, it came in your way because it was something that you needed to be shown. Something you were deserved of. So let it come your way. And don't have the mentality, oh my gosh, is it going to work? Is it not? Like, is what happened last time going to happen again? No. Take it day by day, and at the end of the day, if love were to be on your doorstep, it's because it was meant to be delivered to you. So open the package and enjoy your gift, especially if it's big gifts. I feel like the right person will still get you lavish gifts and compliment you in the ways you deserve. But the difference between them and a love bomber is that they're genuine and want to stay with you and want it to work and want to see you in their future, and not just leave you high and dry just because they were bored or because they were confused, because you don't deserve a confused person who doesn't know what they want to do in their life. You deserve someone who's secure and strong and can choose you every time. So with that, I'll leave today's podcast episode at that, and I'll see you guys later.